Hi everyone. Today I will try to discuss uh, on the deploying of the MCP server which we have developed using FastMCP library in Python. If you notice, first I am importing FastMCP library uh, package from MCP library, and I am creating an MCP server named demo MCP, and I am maintaining the stateless HTTP as true. I am maintaining it because I do not want to maintain any state. I do not want to maintain any history for the HTTP requests we are getting to the server. So I'm maintaining the stateless HTTP as true, and I am not maintaining any authorization to my to connect to my MCP server. So I'm maintaining this auth as none, and I am maintaining this host equal to 0.0.0.0 so that anyone can able to access this MCP server. Now I am creating an MCP tool named add, which can help us in adding the two numbers, and I am simply running the MCP server using streamable HTTP transport. Once I have created this server in my using my Python and FastMCP package, I need to deploy this MCP server in Azure so that anyone with the endpoint, MCP server endpoint on which it has deployed, can able to utilize this server. Let me go to Azure. Uh, this is the um, free version of the Azure I am utilizing for deploying our application here, MCP server. MCP server. Now, if you notice, I have created RG MCP resource group already, and I am clicking on going to this resource group, uh, and I am creating an app service in this resource group. And I am typing web app, selecting web app here, and as you know, I am using the free version of the Azure. It has picked up this subscription plan, and I am using this web app service, so I am creating this, and I am going to give the application name as my MCP demo app, and runtime stack I am selecting as Python 3.14, and the region I am selecting as Central US, and the pricing plan I am selecting as I can select premium. I think so. Let me try with premium. I will click on review plus create. I will click on create again here. If you notice, the deployment is in progress. Let's wait some more time. So yeah, the deployment is completed here in the app service. Now I will go to VS Code once, and and I will go to Azure Tools here. Uh, I have installed an extension called Azure Tools. so that through which we can able to connect to the Azure services. So I have installed it, and I am going to Azure, and when I connect to my subscription here, if you can see, um, once I refresh it, I can able to see the apps which are available here, which we have created in the Azure subscription. If you notice, we have created my MCP serve, the name of the application. I believe this is the application name we have given while creating this app service. And when I click on this app service, and when I right click on it, uh, I uh, mm, I will select now deploy to web app. I mean, we are deploying the server, uh, the code which we have developed here, for creating the MCP server into this Azure app app service. So once I click on this deploy to web app, it is asking the folder to deploy. So I need to I am interested in deploying this folder, deploying MCP server in Azure. It is asking me to, would you like to update your workspace configuration to run build commands on the target server? This should improve deployment process. I will click on yes. So are you sure you want to deploy to my MCP demo app? Yes, I need to deploy. If you notice, the deployment status deployment is in progress. If you notice, previously I have deployed once with this in this app, my MCP server demo, and I am deploying again this in my MCP demo app. It is still in progress. And meanwhile, if you notice, when we click on deploying this 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 application into our Azure, uh, we notice this files got created, deployment file, and in .vs code folder, settings.json file got created. These files are will get created automatically when you observe in .deployment file. There is a command called sem do build during deployment. It basically mentioning that, telling to Azure that once we deploy uh, this code, the code which we have developed into this app service in Azure, Azure is mentioning to build the environment that this code needs to, that this server needs to be required for. So it will automatically install all those packages which are mentioned in this requirements file, so that it can able to run without giving any error. And in the file settings.json, if you observe, these are all the files that app service, my Azure app service is ignoring while creating a zip for the folder on which we are deploying. Here we are deploying, while deploying, if you see here, zip and deploy workspace, uh, deploying MCP server. Ultimately our workspace folder will get converted into zip, and it will deploy into this app service in Azure. So while converting the zip, it is ignoring the files which are starting with .env files and library and some other files that they are going. It is going to ignore and convert into zip, and it will deploy into Azure App Service. Once I go here into Azure, if you see, our deployment is complete, and I will click on this go to resource. Now I will select this, I will go to into settings, and I will select configuration, and will click on stack setting, and I will write something here in the startup command. I will write pip install -r requirements.txt and python server.py. So as you know, we have deployed this requirements.txt file and server.py file into this app service. Whenever whenever this app gets used by any user, I mean whenever this app gets started, I need this app to install the requirements.txt, install the packages present in the requirements.txt file, and also needs to run the server. So this is the commands that I need the application to get started. And application needs to run before it gets started. So that is the reason I have given these commands in the startup command, and I will click on this apply button. Now I will click on this overview here. Yes, now I will copy this domain, default domain, whichever it is available here, and I will click on, uh, I will go to the domain here now. Sorry to say, I have forgotten to mention, we need to give at the MCP at the end, /MCP at the end to this URL. Let me try once again. Yes. Whenever if we get the response something like this, then it means our app is up and running. But the response we got it as, n- the server will accept only, must accept test or event stream. This is because whenever we have created this server, we have mentioned the transport as streamable HTTP. So whatever the application uh, which is using this server, it needs to accept this streamable output, as this browser cannot able to use the streamable outputs from the server. So it is our server is throwing an error with this code stating that's not acceptable, client must accept test or event stream. So basically our server is up and running. We can utilize the server tools for our use case, but yes, this browser cannot able to utilize accept the streamable outputs, streamable test. It cannot able to get the response from the server. The one way to check whether the server is working fine, I will go to VS Code and I will click on terminal, and something is running. I will stop it. I will clear the screen here. Now I will run this command npx @model context protocol inspector. So it will navigate me to a web interface for the MCP server to inspect whether the server has been created correctly or not. We can easily get the response from the server here. I will select the transport type as streamable HTTP, and if you notice the URL is this one to the server. To connect to the server, I will paste the URL here and I will click connect here. If you see it, it has been connected, and when I click on this tools, and once again I will click on list tools here. You can easily see that we have one tool, YARD tool, which we have created in the MCP server. We can utilize this YARD tool here to check whether the tool has been working correctly. I will give some random numbers and I will run the tool here, and you can see we can get the correct response from the MCP tool. So I think this helps to how to deploy the MCP server which we have developed using FastMCP into Microsoft Azure App Service. Um, Thanks a lot for listening. Let me know if any further help is required from me.